Please join me in welcoming District 16 State Senator Don Huffines.
Thank you very much. I'd like to tell you that I think we had a great session. I'm going to give you a quick update on what we did, and I'm going to statewide, then I'm going to talk about what we did, what happened for Dallas County and City of Dallas. And I want to thank Senator Hall for being in his district tonight. This is Senator Hall's district. Thank you for letting me be a guest here. The lens that I govern through and look through is, and I always ask myself, and I know Senator Hall's got his way to look at it too, but I say, what is the fundamental role of government? What is the proper role of government? What should the first thing government should always do? And I can tell you from my perspective, it's to defend liberty. And that is the main thing that I look at, defend our liberty. So that's the lens I govern through, look through to govern. And I thought we had a pretty good session. And we just set the table for you so you understand the perspective down there in Austin in the Texas Senate. There's 31 of us, as you probably know, 20 Republicans, 11 Democrats. And you're looking right now tonight, you're going to hear from the 50% of the most conservative state senators in Austin. There's 4 of us. Kind of all up there. Bob beat me. Okay, Bob beat me. Bob did a good job. We spent $218 billion in our biennium budget for the next 2 years. And that's about the same amount of money. It went up about $550 million over the last session. So it was a very conservative budget. It was a very tight year for money. Last 2 years, we did not have the revenue we thought we were going to have. And so that was probably the dominant theme over the whole session, was that if your bill had any type of fiscal note to it, it wasn't going to move at all. We have a very conservative budget. But to give you a perspective on that, I'd like to do this. It's about $300 million a day is what we spend in the state of Texas 7 days a week. That's our budget, 7 days a week, $300 million. Now, to put that into perspective, I'm sure y'all might have heard this. The state of Texas, if we were our own country, we'd have the 10th largest gross national product, GDP, in the world. And that's bigger than Russia, and as big, or a little bigger than Canada. I want to give you the scale of what we do in Texas and how important it is. It just doesn't ripple across the United States of America what we do. It ripples across the whole world what we do. We are a worldwide leader in the state of Texas. That's why it's imperative that we govern with a conservative, free market approach, and I thought that's what we did a lot in Austin. Could it have been better? Of course. Did we get all our legislation, conservative legislation done? No, I didn't get all my stuff done, but we got some good stuff done and we stopped a lot of bad stuff. So besides the budget, which let me just tell you what the budget's going to be known for this session. And that's going to be taking care of CPS. If you think that's the role of government, you're going to be happy. Because we funded, right now, in the next biennium, will be $3.5 billion spent on CPS. That's an increase of about 600 million. We increased caseworkers by 600 caseworkers. So I think this session is a session, a lot of members have worked on that a long time, that we got that handled. I think we still need a lot more help in parental rights and things like that. But as far as funding it and getting more caseworkers, we got that done. We also got more money for mental health. And I think you're going to find, if you believe that's the proper role of government, you're going to be happy about that, as much as a lot of people want to know. But it's about $350 million to increase the bed capacity, which we really, if we're going to take care of it, we need to do it. We need to do it right. So we did that, and that we spent about $1 billion out of the rainy day fund, and that was for supposedly non-reoccurring expenses, and that's debatable. But we spent about $1 billion out of that, so we got $11 billion in it, so left over. But that would last us, as you see from that budget, less than 30 days. So if we had no revenue, it's not that much money, but it does help. So let's see, what else was important in the legislative session? Well, the things that we passed a lot of good conservative stuff out of the Senate, and it went over to the House, and it didn't go anywhere. Most of it never went anywhere. But guess what? We get another opportunity. Yeah. Everything the governor's put on the special session call, I just thought was fantastic. And I know there's a whole lot more he could put on there too, like My vehicle inspection tax bill, which you didn't put on there. My legislative priority, I had two significant pieces of legislation I wanted to get done, and I focused on. This is my second session in Austin, and they were vehicle inspection tax. I wanted to get rid of the vehicle inspection tax, and I wanted to get rid of, and take care of Dallas County schools. I wanted to abolish Dallas County schools. I got one of them done, and the other one came really close to the finish line and didn't quite get it across. The clock ran out on us. Let's talk about vehicle inspection tax real fast. That's your safety inspection you get done on your vehicle. It's not about safety, it's about ripping you off on your time and your money. And that's all it's about. My bill currently did not affect emissions test. You still have to get that. There's 17 non-attainment counties in the state of Texas. You still have to get that emissions test. But I was going to save you the hassle of having to go down. If you weren't in one of these 17 counties, the rest of the state of Texas could line up like the rest of the United States of America. 35 states do not require it. 35 states. The federal government quit requiring it in 1976 because they knew that it had nothing to do with safety, right? And we've got all kinds of academic studies to show that, government studies to show it has nothing to do with safety. It's strictly a rip-off on your time, the most precious thing you have with your time. And it was a great tax cut. It took my team months to figure out how to make that revenue neutral with a tight budget year. The fiscal note was 5 pages, which is huge in Austin, but it was a comprehensive reworking of the inspection program. And we got it out of the Senate. I got 6 Democrats to co-sign that legislation, and that was by design. So when I got it over the House, I thought it'd move a little quicker. Y'all didn't know this. The Democrats get a priority over there, even though the Republicans control it, 2/3 of it. So, yeah. So anyway, I got some nonpartisan. It's $150 million annual tax cut that didn't cost the state of Texas 1 penny, but it saved you a lot of money. But we got that, so it came out of the Senate, got it over the House, and the House had 2 hearings on it, got voted out, and it didn't quite get on calendars, and the time ran out on that. The other one is Dallas County schools. How many know what Dallas County schools are? Yeah. You should know by now. It's been on TV every week on Channel 5.
It'll be gone soon.
Yeah, praise the Lord. Amen. Praise the Lord. By the way, I spent a lot of time in Church of Christ. Feeling home. My father grew up in Church of Christ, and so did all his family and his parents, so we spent time in Church of Christ. But anyway, back to Dallas County schools. All right, well, they don't teach any kids, they don't hire any teachers, and it's a 170-year-old countywide school district. Right? But they run for office, they've got a superintendent, and they tax you, tax everybody in Dallas County, and they raise about $21 million, and it's a redundant government bureaucracy, is what it is. It shouldn't exist. There's only 2 left in the great state of Texas, Harris County, Dallas County. Harris County's morphed into a little more stuff. They've tried to justify their existence over the years, been trying to figure out what they're going to do to keep that tax rate going. And right now they're providing bus service, which they've had for 3 decades. They're doing a terrible job of that. They're dangerous, they're unreliable, and they're corrupt. I think you're going to see, you've got criminal investigations ongoing right now into Dallas County schools. There's 2,800 people that work there, approximately. There used to be about 475 in administration, and they're all on our retirement program. So there's nothing they do that the school districts can't do. As you probably know, Mesquite does not use their services. Garland does not use their services. They have their own bus barns. Second largest school district in the county is Garland. Then Mesquite, Grand Prairie doesn't. Sunnyvale doesn't use their services. Duncanville doesn't use them. There's various districts that do. But they went on this binge about trying to make money. So they went and bought all these cameras to make money, to flash as you drive by. Then they started selling this stuff all over the state of Texas. And then they also have this enterprise fund they started to run to try to make money. And they've lost a lot of money. So I had bills to eliminate that. It's a long story, I won't go into that. We got it all out of the Senate 31-0. I had a little fight in there with Royce West on that. Bob remembers that. Royce West. But we got it out of there and got everybody to agree, got it over the House. I worked the House as hard as I've ever worked it, but it's been that many years. But I got every single House of Representatives member from Dallas County to support the bill. 14 people, Democrats, from all over and Republicans from all over to support that bill. I got it out of the Senate 31-0. It's a local bill to get rid of this organization. And guess how, you wouldn't believe how hard it was because of the lobby. They spent $1.2 million on lobby at least. And they hired the best lobby teams they could find. And all they had to get was the 2 committee chairs. They locked up 2 committee chairmen in the House. And I couldn't even get the hearing on the bill. Cindy Burkett didn't get anywhere with it. And Linda Coop didn't get anywhere with it. So I went to the Democrats and I said, I need you. And so I got them on board. And bottom line is, they're Republicans. They run these committees. They're Republicans. And they wouldn't even listen to the Dallas County delegation. But so my bill didn't get set. That bill didn't get set till the 4th, 7th, the last bill to be heard on calendars, the very last day. And of course, it didn't make it. But we got it put on as an amendment on 2 different bills in the House. So the governor's now signed it, both those bills, so it's all done. And now there'll be an election, though, in November, up or down, to vote whether you want to keep Dallas County schools. All right? Guys, I don't think they're going to last that long. The Attorney General did not approve their bond sale. They're going back to the market to sell $50 million worth of bonds, okay? Settle all of us to pay them off. Taxpayers are going to have to pay it all off. And guess what they're using that money for?
The election.
They're using that money to pay the interest on the previous bonds they sold and to make payroll. So the Attorney General saw through all that. He didn't approve the sale. Now they're firing everybody. Now they can't make payroll and they defaulted on their bonds. So they might just implode anyway. It's a financial time bomb. And I tell you this, if they haven't Googled up defense attorneys, they need to. Because there's some serious problems going down there. All right, so those are the 2 significant things for me that I worked on to get done. We got one of them done and not the other. The other is vehicle inspection tax. But I just want to tell you some of the countywide issues. The Dallas Fire and Police Pension Plan. I don't know if we got any retired members of associations in here. I did work on that for many hours with Royce West. That bill came over from the House, and a lot of people didn't realize there's 2 separate chambers down here. And we don't have to have any, we don't have to do it. We can do anything we want in the Senate. We don't have to do whatever the House did, vice versa. So they had a 138-page bill from the House come over to the Senate and said, this is how the pension plan is going to be reworked. And then all the senators, the Republican senators, looked at me and they said, well, Huffines, is that a good bill? I said, heck, I didn't even want to read all that. And I said, so they relied on me to make sure that it was a good bill. And so and the Democrats were relying on Royce West, and so we worked on that. Bob and I discussed it quite a bit. But is it a great solution? No, it's not. It's not a great solution. But that might mean it was probably a pretty good solution. My job was to be a fair broker for all parties. I felt like I represented the taxpayer as well as I could. I represented the parties being the city, the associations, and the taxpayers. Right now, the structure of the redo of the pension plan does not require any tax increase by the city to pay the bills. To put more money in there, they can do it by just reprioritizing their spending. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. So, but it had to be fixed. Otherwise, it was going to bankruptcy court. Maybe not in the next 2 or 3 years, but it's still, look, they still are way underwater. But we did have a pretty good fix on the Dallas Fire and Police pension plan on that topic. We also got a few other things done in the countywide, but I won't go in a lot of detail on that. But we got a hospital district formed. All the hospitals go together in Dallas, in the city of Dallas, actually. And then they form a district, and then they go to Washington, and they get more Medicaid money. So we got that done for them and a few other things. But Texas had, I think, a good session. And like I started out saying, we got another shot at it, and we got 30 days to do it. And everybody says, well, you couldn't get it done in 140. How are you going to get it done in 30? And I can tell you why. I think we're going to get good success in the special session. It's because there's no place to hide, right? We're going to make people accountable. When those 20 items come up, you're either for it or you're against it. And you're not going to, and the committee chairs are going to be the same way. And I think we're going to be pretty successful. I hope. So I know there's a lot of frustrated House members. So, and I'm going to say, of course, we're going to answer questions here, but I just want to thank everybody for coming again. Thank you all for being here, and Senator Hall's going to go next.
Thank you.